Welcome, beloveds. Welcome and thank you, as always, for joining me as we talk about our Sisterhood of the Moon's Leadership Code of Ethical Conduct. And we have now reached point 6 of our code. Point 6, I am responsible and personally accountable for my thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. I take ownership of and responsibility for the creation of my reality. I am responsible and personally accountable for my thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. I take ownership and responsibility for the creation of my reality. So at first glance, this may sound like the shame and blame of the law of attraction, and yet it is actually the opposite. When we truly understand that we are responsible for framing the experiences of our lives, everything becomes far more freeing and far less constrictive. Just as we are not responsible for how others comport themselves, we are the only ones responsible for how we comport ourselves. We are not responsible for what other people feel or what other people think, and they are not responsible for how we feel or what we think. As a wise person once said, what other people think of me is none of my business. We are only responsible for our own part of any container that we are participating in. We are only responsible for our own thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. We are accountable and responsible for ourselves, and this is 100% our own sphere of authority. This includes becoming aware of and transforming our detrimental and harmful old patterns and projections, becoming aware and transforming those detrimental and harmful ways of communicating and being. It includes doing the work needed to integrate our shadow and to remove the blockages to our living in full alignment with our hopes and dreams for ourselves. We can feel what we're feeling and ride that wave of emotion. We can think what we're thinking, releasing those thoughts that are unhealthy and embracing those that are healthy. And then from that place of self-understanding, we can speak and act in ways that are in the greatest alignment with who we want to be, dear ones. The beauty of taking responsibility is that we can choose to consciously curate our own lives. We are not dependent upon what other people do, think, feel, say. We are the ones who can consciously curate our own lives. What feels so important to me about this point is the reminder that only we can decide how we feel and how we act in any situation. If we are feeling wronged or disrespected or unheard, we must look within for the answer as to why we are feeling this way, why we are feeling any way, bad or good. Only we can decide what we will say or do or feel. No one makes us feel a certain way or makes us do or say a certain thing. To think that they do is to relinquish our sovereignty and to enter into codependency. It is this creation of reality that we are addressing here, the power that each and every one of us has within to make conscious our decisions about how we are interacting in this world. And this is huge. This is huge, dear ones. What would happen if each and every one of us paused to gather ourselves, to become truly present, to do this before acting, before reacting? What would happen if each and every one of us took full responsibility for how we engage with the shared reality? And what if we all did this from the heart-centered knowing that everyone, including ourselves, is doing the very best they can in any given moment? that nothing anyone else does or says or feels is to be taken personally. It's not about us. Only our thoughts, feelings, and actions are about us. Being accountable to and with ourselves only by taking responsibility for all of our own interactions. By doing this, we are changing the world, moment by moment, breath by breath. I am responsible and personally accountable for my thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. I take ownership of and responsibility for the creation of my reality. What does personal accountability mean to you, dear ones? How do you take responsibility for framing your own life experiences? I'd love to hear all about it in the comments. And I thank you once again for being here, beloveds, for making time to explore these important topics with me. It means so much to me. And I am very, very grateful. I will be back next month to join you with point 7 of this leadership code. And until then, I am wishing you big blessings and lots of love. Blessed be.